Maru and Parting, our first best of 3 in today's GSL Code S. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
GSL Green Wings Maru.
And in the upper right here, in the red, our Protoss player, he is
SK Telecom T1 Parting.
All right. This is great. It's a good map to finish this on, too, this series. I think overall, it's such a standard macro map that is, I always like it as third map. Really get to see both players kind of do whatever they like.
And so far for what they want to do, it's not going to be a fast Nexus or anything weird like that for Partying. This is not a map really good choice to ever do that on. We do have the barracks and the gas now being taken here. For Maru,
yeah, probably just going to open with a Reaper. Wants to be able to scout what's going on. Parting's end, is he going to open up with a Starport, a Twilight, or Robo? Because he's actually already shown Robo and Starport, or Stargate.
Stargate, yeah.
It'd be funny if Protoss could open with Starport. It's like Medivacs and Zealots. It'd be the sickest ever.
You can add it onto a pylon as the extension.
Research cloak at the pylon.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you look at the way Parting normally plays, he really likes Twilight openers against Terran quite a bit. It's something he's used a ton in the last month or so, and the fact that he hasn't used that yet, I wonder if he's saving it for this, because I think it's what he has practiced the most.
Well,
maybe.
Could be. Well, we'll have to see, though. Parting's kind of a tricky one to predict.
Yeah, he is.
That's
part of his strength, really.
Well, I think anybody who can randomize a build really well is going to succeed in best of 3s, best of 5s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that matters really at all on the ladder. Unless we were to face the same opponent twice, coincidentally or something. But let's see what he's going to go for here. He has the Mothership Core now being made. There has been an eBay block. Very old school StarCraft II technique.
It's a very good one, too.
Yep.
Really slows down that Nexus by, like, a huge amount. Forces them to make the Zealot. They're going to, of course, have to grab a gas and make their next pylon, and it's just really annoying. And look at this. He can't even start it yet, because for it to make sense, you have to actually, like, start your next level of tech, right? You can't just sit there and build up minerals and then build everything after the Nexus.
So we have the Nexus starting, but it's quite late.
Huh. He's not... Okay. Wait, is he still not mining from that other gas? He wasn't. He's not. Is he?
We would have to get a shot of the Protoss's
Okay,
name.
it looks like he is now. He just started, I think. Yeah. You can see his gas income go way up. Okay, because he wasn't doing that for a little bit. I think he was just saving the minerals to try to get into that Nexus a little bit quicker. And it is, in fact, the Twilight he's saved for the third game here.
Okay, so the Twilight Council it is. We've seen some really good Blink builds here from Parting before. Really able to control and contain the Terran. And there's a chance you could see that here now. The main is very accessible by Blink here for Protoss. He still is just making Stalkers.
Yeah, I think what we'll probably see is him go up to maybe the 4 gates and walk up with his Stalker group and, like, you know, pick off SCVs at the bunkers a few times.
Maybe force bunkers to be made and then just wait there while he expands.
Something like that, yeah. A really quick third in Colossus tech should follow it up. Oh, never mind. This is completely different. He's actually going for quick DTs. Definitely a risk, but, you know, that's the name of the game sometimes. The real champions are the ones that will take risks, players like Maru and like Parting.
Well, let's see if this can actually do enough damage. I mean, one risk when you do go DTs, guys, is that if the DTs don't do any damage, you're so behind. Your opponent has a much stronger base army. Yes, you can, for instance, try to counterattack into their main every time they leave, but if they set up the necessary defenses for that, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, DT tech is not, in the early game, it's not the most useful thing in the world. You really need to have a lot of extra income for it to be something that you can go without risk. So this has its risks. Will it get scouted? Reaper is coming up to try to do it.
Oh, he's going to warp across there.
Did he put the pylon in just right, I guess?
I believe so. Oh my
man.
God, are you kidding me?
Well, now that he's seen it, he has to...
I wonder what he's
He
going
has
for.
to build turrets and stuff. Do you even make a DT here? That's the question.
Well, he made a warp prism and canceled it for a second. There's 2 DTs. Where are they? Where are they?
Well, they're being warped
They're
in
right
right there. It's such a clever spot.
Oh, look at this. And he's going to sync up this attack so they're both being hit at the same time.
Yeah, that's going to maximize the amount of damage he can do here.
Oh, he evacuates.
Yeah, he sees it incoming.
Scan here. Can he actually avoid this?
No.
And there's still this other DT up here.
Hey, you know what? This is already a pretty good amount of damage. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
8 workers killed.
Yeah.
8. That's
2 more
actually
DTs.
insanely good. Oh man, he knows
And-
there's no turrets.
Oh, he's going to try to block him in here with that depot.
That's smart. That is so smart.
That was so nicely
What a
done.
handsome man. Oh my
That was
God.
so well done. Oh my God.
It forced him up into turret range. Really well done by Maru.
Well, we have the warp prism coming down now.
He hasn't even finished his factory. Like, he killed the SCV making it, and now it's just sitting there. So this makes the medevacs ridiculously late, plus he killed a bunch of SCVs. I would say that that was effective. If he hadn't warped in the next 2 DTs, it would have been insane how good it was. Losing those next 2 did make it a lot worse than it was, but I still think that this was actually very good for parting. I think from here you kind of ignore the fact that you have DT tech. I feel like making any more DTs, that's kind of risk. I want to see him just focus on making a lot of units here so that he can hold any attacks that actually come in.
Looks like Parting's going to stay on 2 base and go for some kind of timing here. He's getting blank armor started here. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay, he's going to immediately get out. And he does just that.
Or Prism can sit there for a bit. Again, the medevac's going to be so late this game. Where does Maru go from here? Does he just take a 3rd base? Does he add his extra Raxes and just be kind of light on medevacs?
Well, it's funny because the Warp Prism is going to be effective because there are no medevacs in play yet. Or I should say even Vikings as well. So they have basically free reign. Party going to get in a defensive position up here at his 2nd base.
Yeah, this is a really smart move. Wait till you have Blink. Wait till you have a good amount of units to try taking additional bases. Just throws on that Nexus Cannon. Everything's safe.
And that's where Maru goes ahead and backs up now.
And, okay, he is actually going to go ahead and take this 3rd base right this second. Sees it right away. But again, with no medevacs, it's like really super risky for him to even, you know, attempt to hit this because it's quite a committal, right? You know, if he tries to stim, then his units are going to go so low on health. If he gets caught off guard up there, how is he going to get away? His units are going to take so much damage, he can be chased down by Blink.
You know, what's funny about this game is that Parting's goal with the DTs was not to delay the factory from being made.
Yeah.
It's actually to kill SCVs. It's that simple. But he killed an SCV making the factory, and Maru did not get right on top of remaking the factory. So now for Maru, everything's late. This is such a game changer here. Although it's really a game changer that's more of a fault of Maru than a brilliant play by Parting because
well, I'm sure like
you would assume anybody
you
at
can
Maru's
look
level
at
would immediately pop an SCV back on there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I guess he just kind of kept him a little bit too busy, and he just neglected it for, you know, 30, 40 seconds. And that does change a lot in StarCraft II. This game is so tight at this point. Well, he has some medevacs out now, so he can really start being himself a bit more. Stalker's all out of position against this big attack.
Yeah. Scan over here. He takes out the first DT. Now he's going to peek in over here and see that there's, in fact, no Stalkers there. And it's like I was saying in our first best of 3, or our first game in the best of 3, I should say. Not uncommon to have the Stalkers one place to stop drops and the Zealot Colossi somewhere else to keep the 3rd or the 2nd safe.
I would say, by the way, this is going to be an SCV pull.
I think you're right.
He hasn't. I mean, he's just sitting here with double starport. He hasn't made an additional command center. He has to pull his SCVs.
Here's one of the reasons why an SCV pull is a good thing. There it is because, and I'm going to sum this up before this attack actually gets here. because Protoss went for DTs first, that's a lot of gas, and it delayed his other tech. And then the fact that you see him going Robo next means you are always going to get there before Storm is ready.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with a Colossus tech that has way less Colossus than most other techs.
Yeah,
so this should be pretty tough here for partying.
You're quite right about that, Tasteless. It is a tough one. He's got a lot more army supply right now. Well, not a lot more, but he has more, and he has these awesome SCVs in there. So we'll see a good force field wall to buy him time for another warp in.
And that's about to finish up. Looks like he's found a little hole in that. He's coming up.
Trying to pick off anything he can. Even a few extra units here is a big deal. Warps in some more DTs.
Okay, and this is immediately taken out.
Wow, one of them got in front of that scan, so he's still sitting there doing damage. A great time warp does, in fact, go down. Nice micro here by Maru, trying to stay away from the thermal lances. That is a lot of Zealots, but they don't have charge.
Yeah, he's continuing to kite this beautifully. He did take out some Colossi back there, but it was not the most efficient kill. He had one Colossi left alive for a little bit longer than you would expect. He now regroups here, goes up onto the ramp on the high ground, which is going to make this very, very annoying right now for partying.
Well, looks like he's trying to get up here and actually take this out. He does have charge now, pushing forward, trying to kill off Maru's army, and it looks like he definitely has enough to eventually kill this off.
Oh my god, a pickup. He goes in and gets out.
Wow. Gets out with a good amount, too. Look at this. 27 SCVs lost versus 27 probes lost. Yeah, Maru did good damage there.
Both these guys totally wrecked economically. And I think we're going to have another regroup and another attack in here. In fact, he's pulling more SCVs. Is he pulling SCVs?
I think those are a transfer to the NAT.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Kind of mined out the main.
Nice. Takes out the Warp Prism there. This is going to be some scrappy play from here. We do have the second Nexus being remade. Really good game sense here from Maru. He's knowing when to scan his army.
Yeah.
For observers, he's also preempting the DTs, oftentimes scanning where the DT would be.
And you know,
so he kills it off without dealing any damage.
I think a big part of that as well, Tasteless, is the fact that he killed the Robo. So he realizes every observer he kills can't be replaced. Parting has to go directly into Colossus again. He has no splash at all.
Okay, this DT over here is picked off.
There are so many DTs on this map right now.
I know, it's crazy. 6 DTs out total. But these it looks like they're all with that army.
Yeah. Interesting that he puts those in.
Oh, nice force fields there, actually.
Every unit he can pick off at this point can be very, very important indeed.
Both these guys just so low on everything right now. That's what happens when you survive a Terran's SCV pull. But they still do a lot of damages. You guys have both been set back pretty far.
That's right. As far as army goes right now, we do have a higher supply for parting. A lot of this is softer units like DTs, but mixing with that many Zealots, it still can be quite hard. Here we go. Does run up. The Stim actually going after this Nexus and then picks up in his medevacs. Very little anti-air. The Stalker's actually all out of position here.
Yep.
If those had been over there, that would have been a suicidal move by Maru.
But they weren't over there. They actually get one medevac, but it's not one that was full. And the fact that he's picked up this Nexus, I think, is putting pressure for Party to try to do some kind of counter-attack now. I would think that Maru should be able to simply regroup over here. And look at this. He's just going to wall this whole thing off. This is an army of mostly Zealots and DTs. Yes, there are some Stalkers, but that's never going to get through a clogged entrance like this.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough. Like, if Parting does this just right, he has to lead with the Stalkers and kill off some of these buildings if he wants to attack in. Otherwise, he's just playing the containment game.
Okay, I think at this point in time he's realized that army's already substantially weaker than the army that he has. So Maru's going to go ahead and push out now.
Yeah, it's time for Maru to secure a third base or go up and secure the victory. It looks like the victory is what he's going for, Tasteless. Pulling his SCVs once again.
And this is going to be a tough one. Remember, the Colossi count was knocked way back, so there's only 2 Colossi out now. Yes, there are some Stalkers, but I think the overwhelming fact that there's just so many SCVs along with a Stim army that just deals damage so incredibly fast. I don't think there's really anything Maru can do to lose this.
You know, it's still a lot of army supply here for Parting, and that's a nice pick off. Every little bit he can pick off is going to be fantastic. Guardian Shield does go up. Will we have scans for these DTs? They do have high damage output.
So far, the controller from Maru, very, very good. We see being pushed back here. There's no scans still. He's actually running through the DTs. Is he going to manage to get these Colossi? Both the Colossi, or excuse me, one is down. And I think that's just barely enough. Looks like he's going to get that final remaining DT.
Still a good amount of Marauders left over here. Parting trying to stay alive. He still has a good amount of Blink Stalkers. A lot of micro potential here for him. Another Colossus does pop out. This is really close, but it looks like Maru just doesn't have anything left.
You know, initially I thought, I really thought Maru was actually going to win that.
Wow.
You know, it was a combination of the fact that the DTs were there doing a lot of damage. They weren't scanned initially. He actually ran. He dove in there to hit that Colossus when he had not scanned that army. I think the second Colossus coming out at the very end helped out a lot as well.
A lot of dangerous and risky stuff pulled off there by Parting, but really smart stuff as well, right? Like, he warps in the DTs despite it getting scouted. He mixes in a ton of DTs into his Zealot army. Very smart move there. And at the end of the day, that's really what helped him to hold that and snowball that victory at the very end of the game.
Well, we've got our first winner now. It's Parting going on to the winner's match, but he's not cleared to get out of this group just yet.
No, certainly. It's a tough one. It's hard to say who's going to come out still. Maru may still come right back and get out.
We're going to go to a short little break. When we come back, we're going to go on to our second best of three here in Group B of the GSL Code S.